In a beauty rut? Boost your routine with Estee Lauder's new and improved Advanced Night Repair at Hudson's Bay. The brand's #1 serum just got better with collagen-boosting power and extra ingredients to firm skin and minimize pores. And it still delivers that radiant complexion you love. Plus, purchase this serum before August 30th and receive an Estee Lauder gift filled with skincare and makeup bestsellers. But hurry, there's only one per customer while supplies last. Head into fall with a brand new beauty routine at Hudson's Bay.
The P&E Prize Home Lottery.
Even without the P&E Fair, you can still win a house, win a car in the P&E Prize Home Lottery. Win an Air Transat trip to Costa Rica plus $2,000 cash. Online deadline is August 24th. Plus, you're still in the draw for the grand prize Mountainside Escape in Pemberton. Ticket packages start at just $25. Get your tickets now at pneprizehome.ca or call 1-877-WIN-HOME. 19 plus to play. Know your limit. Play within it.
That shouldn't be there.
There's a little cartoon, Gord.
This is Eric and Gord. What if we're right? Listen to the world changing.
Hi there. I'm just starting now. Happy Wednesday. It's August 12th, 2020. I'm Eric, talking at you from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, where I swear to God I'll burn this place to the ground.
It's going down.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for telling your friends. I want to start off real quick before I get to shouting out to everybody's podcasts, which would involve me finding my book, so we're going to stall a little bit while I look for that. I want to just reassure everyone, because I got asked today. Trust me, everyone I work with, I'm not going to name the company, but if you listen to the podcast, you know who you are. If I were doing drugs, you'd fucking know it. Don't worry about it. You don't need to ask, because if I were, when I do, you'll know. That's all I got to say about that. My boss very sternly asked me that today, and I found it quite funny, actually. I can't say I was offended. I wasn't offended. I didn't give a shit. I was like, no. First of all, does anybody ever say yes to that? Are you on drugs? Yes. Never happened in the history of employment. That conversation has never gone that way.
Absolutely, I am.
I'm
on so much drugs right now. Oh my God.
Eric, are you on drugs right now? Why? What do you got?
Yeah, right. I've asked that before at a work when they were doing when I worked for Johnson Controls, they had everybody sit down with the HR director for 10 minutes where they asked a bunch of and they said to us even ahead of time, they said, look, this whole thing is pointless, but we have to ask these questions. And one of the questions was, do you do drugs? And my answer was, why would you have? And she just looked at me, and I just stared at her smiling. She's like, I'm not sure if you're serious or not. I'm like, well, it depends. Are you trying to offer me some? Because if you're not, then I'm not serious.
I'm not sure if you're serious or not. You're like, you know what? Neither am I.
I'm not sure either. Do you want to go smoke a joint? Yes, I do. You want to do a line? Fuck it. Yes, I do.
Best is in front of
but
the
I don't do
customers.
drugs.
When one of the cashiers will be like, Eric, can you help this customer? And I'll just shout from the back of the store, no, it doesn't sound like something I do. And walk away. Fucking brilliant. So
if I was a customer and I heard that, I would die laughing. I'm like, can I have that guy anyways? And he just
It's the best. Or there'll be a guy looking at dust pans in the back of the store. I'll be like, so you interested in a table saw? Like, what?
No. I have no idea. I'm just so high right now.
Guy will be like, pointed at a drill today. He's like, can I get one of these? I'm like, you can get as many as you want, pal.
You sure only want one?
How much you got?
I went into Bed Bath the other day with my mom.
Oh my God,
we had to do some
really?
shopping. Yeah.
I
needed to buy a new
in that store since.
Well, I needed to buy a new Vornado fan. So they're only people who sell it. So
I'll get you a Vornado fan.
Vornado?
Oh yeah, fuck. I got 6 of them right now.
Yeah, you do. So we went in there. Mom's over to the side. She's looking at something else. I just start wandering around the store because there was no fucking people like working. I couldn't find any staff.
Sounds about right for that store.
So I'm just walking around thinking, well, I'm just going to go over and help people. These guys are standing there looking at this. I'm like, are you guys thinking about buying those sheets? Yeah. Are you a hot sleeper? And the guy's like, yeah. I said, don't buy those fucking sheets then, man. I said, here, come over here. So on the side, I'm like, buy those instead. They'll be way better for you. And then we start having this big conversation. So I'm helping them all out, hook them up with the sheets. Another couple was over looking at duvets. Yeah, don't buy that one. Buy this instead. This is way better. It's better bang for your buck. You're getting a way better thing, and it's machine washable. They're like, thanks, man. Hey, can you help me find something else? Yeah, I don't actually work here. And just walk away.
My one crazy Q conspiracy super hot chick friend who's into all anti-vaxxing and she's all that shit. She says that Mike Linnell is actually evil. He's like really for real the devil, and he does all kinds of evil shit in the States.
Mike who?
The My Pillow guy, Mike Linnell.
Oh, the My Pillow guy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, he's like super evil. According.
Well,
to
that's good because he looks like a pedophile.
Oh, he totally looks like the devil. Like if the devil thought he was trying to, like if the devil didn't really know Earth very well and he was trying to look cool, that's probably what he'd come back as. Just that guy with the silk shirt and the cross. It's so creepy.
Oh my god, I'm loving this. I just typed in "is the My Pillow guy" and it comes up: married, a crackhead, alive, making masks, a Christian, a Republican.
All of those. Speaking world, I gotta say hi to some friends. I'm sorry, guys, I'm neglecting you guys, and this is gonna go on for months because I think every podcast on the planet has contacted me, including After Hours with Allison Glick. She offers a real and raw perspective from a 19-year-old who moves from conservative small-town Pennsylvania to Mexico. That actually sounds interesting enough to give a listen. That's After Hours with Allison Glick. She had to totally outgrow her biases, unlearn ignorance, and she went from being an ignorant, biased little snotty American kid to organizing protests against like gender discrimination and stuff in Mexico. So, Allison Glick, that sounds like a good show, and I want to listen to it. Actually, for really, I do. I couldn't imagine fucking just uprooting and moving to Mexico at 19. Like, could you fucking imagine? I guess it's better than high school, but still pretty rough. To move to another country when you're fucking 19 seemed younger than me when I wrote that down, but I moved to Vancouver when I was 19 from Kelowna. That's kind of... Allison, I don't know. You're losing me here already. Anyway, guys.
The more I speak about this...
Sounds like a good show. I'll listen and judge. Be very, very judgmental of it. Numbers are looking good. Thank you guys for that. Thanks for participating in this little shout-out thing. I did want to have a country ready because on the last show, Gord and I said we were going to start educating ourselves on the 195 countries around the world. And I found one, and it was interesting. And then I forgot to follow through with it. So we'll do that next show.
Hey, just so you know, the My Pillow guy, he is a former crack addict, a retired card counter with a history of bad debts, near-death experiences, and soured marriages before fully accepting God into his heart.
Yeah, that fucking bullshit. That's just gets you early parole. Oh God, you did not. I found Jesus in prison. Every second guy in prison is named Jesus, you fuck.
Yeah. So you walked into the wrong cell one day. Congratulations.
That's Jesus for our Mexican listeners.
He actually claims that his drug dealers staged an intervention to get him to stop using.
Yeah.
That's
drug dealers
never happened ever.
No drug dealer has ever encouraged anyone to use less. Ever. No, it doesn't matter if they're your best friend. They just want to sell you drugs.
That's right.
What they do.
That's right.
You could be ODing in front of them. They'll be like, once the Narcan wears off, you're going to want to get high again.
You know what you're going to need when you come off of this?
You want
some more.
Cuff something for when you're in the hospital? Drug dealers are horrible people. Except for the ones that are my friends. You guys are awesome. I'm talking about the bad ones.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the bad ones suck.
Speaking of drugs, Biden named his vice president.
Oh, yes,
mate,
he did.
And everybody is just delighted with his pick.
Yeah.
It is, of course, famous WWE wrestler Kamala.
Kamala Harris.
Different Kamala.
Yeah, she was the former. The fuck was she? She was the Attorney General.
Yeah, the
Is that what she was?
She was the secretary of Cute as a Button.
Yeah, she's also very heavily known for being extremely light on crime.
Yeah, but so is every one of them.
Well, no, you can't say that. Republicans want to nail every criminal to the fucking wall and keep them in jail for life, no matter what the charge is.
That's got nothing to do with crime. That's just funding jails.
That's right.
I don't care that she's light on crime. I don't care. She's going to be the president of America if the Democrats win. So,
yeah,
I guarantee you they win, and Biden disappears. He's gone. You never see him.
Well, within 24 hours of him announcing her, Biden raised $26 million for his campaign within 24 hours after he named her as his running mate.
That would be great if we found out he just borrowed it all from Russia. It wasn't Trump at all. It was me the whole time, fuckers.
So you now have the two people, just to give everybody an understanding. Donald Trump and the Republicans have raised over $300 million, and Biden has now surpassed the $300 million that Trump has done. So now the two people running have now amassed over $600 million just to talk about how they're both going to fuck up the economy.
Which is awesome because neither of them are supposed to raise money.
That's right. But yet, here we are. $600 million.
How does that make you feel, people? Poor Americans? Any Americans suffering from the COVID crisis that's been created? You feel good about the $600 million you could have had, but don't?
That's right. There you go.
That's politics for you. Canada is not much. Well, we're a little better because we don't, 600 million. I don't think in Canada there is $600 million.
No, that's probably the total raised amount for every political party ever in history of Canada.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're probably not
with inflation.
In American dollars.
In American dollars, yeah.
But it's like I had this problem with the Humboldt tragedy that happened with the Humboldt Broncos hockey team, and it was a very unpopular opinion. But we raised $16 million overnight for a bunch of rich white kids who died. The families didn't need money. They're all very, very wealthy.
Yep.
And it just disturbed me. It's got nothing to do with the team. It disturbed me that in a time when we were all saying how broke the country is, there's no money, no extra money for daycare, no money for anything, but all of a sudden we just have $60 million overnight.
Yeah.
For the families of, I'm sorry, rich white kids. If that was a hockey team from Northwest Territories, you never would have heard about it, and they never would have raised a fucking dime for them.
Nope. And if half of those kids on that team were of any other ethnicity other than white, wouldn't have made any money either.
That I don't know about for sure, but just the fact that it was at a time when we
a bunch of rich white kids.
Now we're, well, it's not our country, so I don't give a fuck. But in your country, Americans, they got just $600 million kicking around. You're all closing your businesses, worried about your futures, foreclosing on your homes, and your friends and neighbors just have $600 million to give away, but they're just not giving it to you.
That's right. They'll give it to a bunch of 2 billionaires, but they will not give it to anybody else.
Isn't that awesome how that works? We will give about $600 million to these rich guys so they can argue about which one of them is going to actually do fuck all for the next 4 years. But we can't help you save your business. We can't help. Like, why is anyone poor? Really, that's my question. At the end of the day, why the fuck is anybody poor? If we could just pull $600 million out of our asses whenever we want to, there should be no homeless people.
Yep.
Just pull out your $600 million and you're fucking done. Help me get a fucking home. God damn it. I have not been homeless for almost a year now, and I've been homeless the whole fucking time. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. No.
Help me
Makes
get a home.
perfect
And my
sense.
home situation is not getting any better. That prick still won't get out of my house. And I just got, declined for the one I was moving into. Because it's student housing, and I don't have student ID.
Oh,
So the strata or whatever, they're like, yeah, you can't move in here. You're not a student. I'm like, oh, I might be. I haven't decided yet. And they're like, yeah, no, you can't move in here. And then he got all pissy. He's like, you don't listen to them. You go move in right now. He's like, they don't rent to you. They rent to me. So they are renting to a student. So just don't fucking worry about it. Just get in there. So it's all very shady, and I'm not looking forward to it. And then I know people don't want to hear personal stories, but I got to go for just a second here. And then if you don't like personal stories, then you can go to listen to Raw and Order WBU. That's a silly podcast about silly sports with fake cops and real pro wrestling. So last night, I decided to go to Money Mart because my bank's got like a 7-day hold on a check. Not a 5-day hold. It's fucking 7 days. And I called. I'm like, can you waive that for me? I have to pay rent on a new home. And they're like, oh, Mr. Hunt, I know. That's not happening. So I'm like, fuck it. I go to Money Mart. I'm like, can you cash this check? She's like, we can, but I can only give you an e-transfer. We're out of money. I said, excuse me? And I held up one of their little pamphlets, and I said, can you read this? And she's like, what? I'm like, you are Money Mart. You have your only function is to have money. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. You just have to stand behind that glass and have money. Without it, you're just Mart.
Yeah, that's it.
And they're like, we can give you an e-transfer. I'm like, well, why didn't you just fucking say that? That's perfect. Just, yeah, give me the e-transfer. I'll put it in the bank. No problem. She's like, yeah, you get it at 4 a.m. I'm like, we're back to square one. You should have started with that, you fucking...
Morons.
My God. So I finally did it anyway, and the e-transfer went through at like 11 p.m. I don't know what the fuck she was talking about, but Money Mart, you can't run out of money. That's your thing. Just have money. That's it. That's all you have to do is have money.
It's like going to the water store and being like, sorry, we're out of water. No,
and
you're not.
They're just so fucking pompous behind that glass because they know that they're buying bulletproof glass. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
And they fucking know it. They just stand there all smug. We don't have money. Well, go get some. Call another Mart that has money and get them to bring it to you.
Why are you still open?
Yeah. Fucking close.
Close the door. Put closed out of money. Then nobody will rob you overnight.
Could you imagine if you walked into McDonald's and you're like, yeah, give me a Big Mac combo. And they're like, no, we don't have food today.
I have gone to McDonald's one time and they said, sorry, we're all out of buns.
That's kind of okay. You're like, all right, we'll use 2 patties and make a bun out of that. That's fine.
Yeah. I'll get a Big Mac just made of meat.
that could be how the Double Down was invented. Oh.
Right.
Oh, if I wasn't boycotting that restaurant for the rest of my life, I would be all over the goddamn Double Downs.
I've still never had it, and that's me talking.
It is next to the printing press, the single greatest invention of the 20th century. The printing press and the Double Down. KFC
That's
Double
it.
Down, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, fucking too bad for you. I've only ever had one in my life. The only place I could get one was Metrotown. Aurora's mother bought it for me, believe it or not, back when she was pregnant and we still liked each other. My one and only Double Down I've ever had, and I think it took about 7 years off my life, and it was worth it. It's totally. You feel your arteries like slowing as you eat that thing. For those of you who don't know, it's a chicken sandwich. That sounds like a cop came right to my door. A siren just literally stopped, like, right outside. Am I doing a crime? I don't think so. Anyway. Yeah, the Double Down, if you guys don't know, it's a chicken sandwich where instead of a bun, it's 2 pieces of chicken.
Yeah.
So it's a piece of chicken inside of 2 pieces of chicken with bacon and cheese. You can't beat that. It will kill you. If you ate that every day, you would die at 30, but you'd die happy. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about dying with that.
I will not eat at KFC. It's a lifetime ban on KFC for Eric. Although I don't even know. Yeah, no, because they still do call it Tootie Tuesday. For those of you who haven't been following the show, KFC has a special every Tuesday, and they call it Toonie Tuesday. For our American friends, that means like $2 Tuesday. But the fucking thing is $3.29 before taxes.
Yep.
It used to be a toonie, and it said Toonie Tuesday. You got your food for a fucking toonie. Now it's Toonie Tuesday, but it's $3.29, and it says that you can't fucking call it Toonie Tuesday if it's $3.29. That's $3.29 Tuesday.
Yeah, it's $3.29 Tuesday.
I never eat there again. Swear to God, I'll burn the place to the fucking ground before I do. Like, just change your thing to $3.29 Tuesday. Don't get me all excited on Toonie Tuesday. Run in there with my toonie and then my 14 cents for the tax. No.
No.
You are short $1. Whatever, I'm not doing math for you guys. No, I'm not
You're
short.
just short. Fuck you. Get out.
I'm not short. The sign says Toonie Tuesday. Here's your toonie. Give me my chicken. Doesn't work like
nope.
that. Fuck, the Colonel is a lying piece of shit. Here's the other thing about when you go to restaurants, though. Don't fucking do what I just said. Like, you can boycott a restaurant for sure. Do that all the time. Fuck them. But don't be a dick to the dude behind the counter. He didn't do it. It's got nothing to do with that guy. Same with this mask thing. Just shut the fuck up and put the mask on. I remember when I was young, I didn't like wearing a shirt. I always had my shirt off. And I'm not in like good shape. I just didn't like wearing shirts. But I used to hang out at A&W. And you know what I had to do every time I walked into A&W? I had to put my fucking shirt on. Because they wouldn't serve me if I didn't. This is no different. It's no different than no shoes, no shirt, no service. It's just put your fucking mask on and shut up. No one in the lineup gives a fuck about your life or whatever you're whining to the guy making a minimum wage and spitting in your drink. Doesn't give a fuck. And none of us standing behind you give a fuck. So just shut up, put on your mask, or go somewhere else. It's not that fucking difficult. Why is everyone whining all the time?
I absolutely love, and I can't tell you how many videos I've now seen of this, of people in America literally saying, the Constitution states I don't have to wear a mask.
Well, the Constitution ain't flipping your burgers right now. I am. Get the fuck out.
The Constitution, when the Constitution was written, they didn't have masks. So shut the fuck up.
They just had blackface.
No masks.
But, like, why is it a thing? Just carry one with you. If you gotta wear it, throw it on. If you don't, don't. It's just like condoms. If you can get away without one, do it. But, you know, if she catches you and says you gotta put one on, you gotta put one on.
Yeah. Like, if an American who is against masks, let me put you this way, guys. If you are an American male, okay, and you are completely against wearing a mask, let me ask you this. If you are going to be with a woman sexually and she turns to you right before insertion and says, I need you to put a condom on, are you just going to rape her instead?
It is on before that sentence is done. I need you to put... Done.
It's already on.
What do you want? You want 2? There you go. How many of these do I got to put on before we start? What's up?
Just give me a number. I will get them on there.
I'll go buy more. I don't give a fuck. I walked I walked one time for 2 hours trying to find a store that was open. It was 3 a.m. I was banging on people's doors, yelling in the streets, I need a condom!
She's willing. Please help.
My God. Yeah, no, you don't. That's just that has never been like a deal. Whoa, no way! I am not having sex with you and your crazy demands.
Yeah, no.
No, never. That's like the drug dealer staging an intervention. No, did not happen. And same with sex. So yeah, wear your mask. That's all I'm saying. Just wear your fucking or don't whatever. Don't go to that store. Buses, public transit in Kelowna, they're mandatory on August 24th. You cannot get on a bus without a mask.
How is that? See, that doesn't make any sense. It's not mandatory now, but it will be on by the 24th.
Yeah, because
so the virus won't spread until the 24th.
Well, you know, it's like I say, with all this new information that's coming out and all this bullshit, guess what, kids? The fucking first wave ain't over yet. I don't know why everyone's talking third wave and shit. Fuck you, the first one's not done.
Yeah.
Don't
the first wave
excited.
Isn't done until the cases stop. That's when the first wave is over.
10 days after the cases stop.
Yeah.
And that's why masks are going to be mandatory, because they're trying to. That's going to be the stage 2, the real phase 2. You guys are all. What are you on now? Like 12 or something?
Well, we're on phase 3 of stage 2.
You're right. Yeah. There's like. It's like fucking War and Peace. There's like 185 chapters in your fucking playbook over there. Dougie Ford just adds new ones every goddamn day.
Yep.
But this is like, yeah, so that's the thing. They're going to make them mandatory on the 24th. By then, everything should be fine, and it's just going to be a thing like that you don't, and then there won't be a second wave kind of deal. Which there won't be anyway, but convince them world of that.
Can't happen.
I still maintain everyone who's going to die from COVID-19 has. Let's move on and like be sad. I'm not saying that's not sad. It sucks that people die. I don't like it, but no one else is going to die from COVID. We're okay. All the ones that are going to be okay are fine.
You know, it's funny. I had a
and if you're not, if you're like a person with a lung infection and you're just sitting there fucking mad at me right now, I don't mean you. Of course you're not fine. Be careful.
Yeah. But you know you have a condition. You know this. So don't put your shit on me.
It's like the peanut
Stay
kid.
away from people.
If your kid's the peanut kid, it's probably going to die as soon as they go back to school. Get ready for that. That's probably going to happen. Sorry. It sucks. I feel terrible for you, but peanut kid, you're fucked. And no one's going to miss you. I'm sorry. You should know that right now.
They'll never remember your name. They'll just know you as Peanut Kid.
They will know you as Peanut, and that memory will fade by the 4th grade. So,
and if you had a friend, then your friend will refer to you as my nuts.
He will bring up the story of your passing for sex later in life, though.
That's a guarantee.
So there you go, Peanut. That's for you. That's your gift from Eric and Gord. The gift of life. Let's say hi to OUS Fantasy Football Podcast on Apple. That's all they gave me.
Simple and easy.
I think that means something, but I don't follow they don't mean football. They mean soccer.
Okay.
And OUS, I think it means something. I love that we call it like American football. Why is it not called like handball? It's you never use your feet at all. I don't know why they stole the name football for a sport that you never use your feet.
There's only one person on the entire team that can touch the ball with his foot. And he's the kicker. That's it. One person.
The one sport where you only use your feet. Americans are like, yeah, we're taking that word. This is football now.
We're gonna call that soccer. Why?
Why?
Shut up.
Because we're fucking America. Fuck you, that's why. It's in our Constitution.
American football should be called soccer because you are socking people to get the ball. That makes more sense. That's fucking American.
It's the only ones who don't use metric. The whole world goes, okay, we'll all do it your way. What the fuck? No, you say no. Same with these. They put tariffs on us. We're like, we put them right the fuck back on you. There you go. Nah. I don't know why we don't do that with more shit. Like right now we're doing it. They put the tariffs on our metal or whatever it was. I think it was aluminum they're bitching about.
Yep.
And we're like, good. We got our own tariffs on your shit. So, boom.
Eat a dick.
I knew NAFTA was not going to go well. USCMA or whatever the fuck they call it. I knew it was going to be a nightmare. And I knew Trump wasn't going to honor it. And here we are in just a fuck show of it's going to be a nightmare if the new leaders don't renegotiate. And that would be Justin Trudeau and Kamala, the wrestler. I don't think it's really him. It doesn't look like him, but it says Kamala.
No, different person. Hate to inform you.
Could be the same. We don't know.
Damn shame if it isn't, though.
That was a pretty stream of consciousness little rant. I hope it made a little bit of sense to you guys. I have no news stories. Kamala was all I had all day. I worked very hard today.
I have a bunch.
And I didn't pay a lot of attention in the world, and my phone was dead, so I couldn't look things up. And tell us, fuck you. There we go. Just so you know. Your $34 fucking C charger. Who the fuck? How much money do you make? You come bounding out with a smile on your face. Yeah, we got a cheap one right here. It's $34. Like, you making fun of me, you prick?
Like, really? I can literally buy one from the dollar store for 50 cents. And you're telling me the cheapest one you have is $35?
What the hell does a $35 charging cable do that a $1 charging cable doesn't do?
Well, I paid $35 for mine, and mine is because A, it's 10 feet long, and B, it's braided so the shit doesn't break when you bend it.
The only way I would pay $34 for a C cable is if it gave me a hand job every time I plugged it in.
Well, mine keeps my phone charged so I can give myself hand jobs while I'm watching porn.
Yeah, true enough. Fair ball, as my boss would say.
Fair ball. That's right. Fair ball.
I like that. That sounds cool. I couldn't pull off that. I could, like, if I tried to steal that from him, I can't sound cool saying it. I sound like a nerd. But he's he's ripped. Dude's like 70, but he's fucking buff and like handsome and shit. He's got like the cool white hair and like little beard and pisses me off. But he can get away with like a fair ball. There's some things like super white guys like me just can't say. Like I tried to adopt Salut for a while. Like when I was cheersing and drinks, I'd be like Salut, like monsters. Well, just because I love mafia movies, right? So I'm like, those guys sound cool as shit when they like say something and they go Salut. I'm like, I'm gonna say that from now on when I'm drinking shit. Nope. No. Just look like a white fucking dork.
The Cheers, I picked up Cheers, and that was a big thing for me. I'm like, I'm going to start saying that all the time, and I do. Every time I hang up, Cheers. Happy birthday, Cheers.
That's kind of one we've sort of appropriated. That's pretty universal now.
Yeah.
If you were like said Cheerio or something, that'd be fucking weird as shit. But
no. Yeah, no, I can't. Not with a straight face.
Cheers is cool. I don't think I've got anything. I don't think I've done one recently that, like, I've consciously done that's weird and but passable. I don't really have one. I might pick something up. I'm going to try to come up with a new one this year.
My favorite line when somebody asks how you're doing is living the dream that is my nightmare.
Living the dream that is my nightmare.
People seem to really like that.
I just always tell the truth. Like, I've been worse.
How you doing? How much time do you have? That's another good one.
How you doing? I've been worse. Want to know about it? No, you don't. I worked with a guy. He was my manager when I worked at Mohawk, and he used to always say, "Do you care?" That was his answer every time people go, "Hi, how are you today?" And he'd go, "Do you care?" And they'd be like, "Well, not really. It's just, you're just supposed to say it." But it's just like such a condescending, and he was serious, like he was a condescending fucking guy like that. But in the best possible, like I loved him for it, but you can't be a prick like that all the time. You end up very, very lonely.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true.
Anyway, so Gord's gonna read some news, and I'm just gonna shut up.
You won't.
We haven't talked for 3 days, so this is what happens when we don't talk for 3 days. It's like we get constipated, and then they give us a laxative, and we just burn.
We're like teenage high school girls. We're chatty.
I'm pretending you're a teenage high school girl right now. That's for sure. Legal age is 16. Don't judge me. That doesn't make it right. Totally fucking judge pedophiles. Go ahead, Gordon.
Just because I love and hate how much Portland, Oregon is falling apart by the minute. This is a town that allowed protesters to set fire to government buildings, deface, threaten the cops directly, all types of shit. And the mayor just says, nope, it's fine. The president says, fuck you, I'm bringing in agents to clean it up. And he's like, you can't do that. How dare you try to clean up my city that's burning to the ground? How dare you? So now that the U.S. agents are gone, or at least they've diminished, they're not completely gone, but they've diminished anyway. So they're trying to clean up the city a bit, after the U.S. agents cleaned up a lot of the bad people. Just saying. So they're trying to clean up, and now they're worried that the tear gas that was used is now a concern for pollution.
No. Tear gas is just like the same as pepper spray, isn't it? It's nothing
no,
bad
it's
for you.
Well, if you can't ingest it, and the problem with it is because it's been so widely used. It's been washing into storm drains, running into runoffs, getting into local waterways.
What's in fucking tear gas though? It's just there's nothing in it. It's just nothing bad.
I think it's just one of those things where it's being diluted in the water. But I think if you were close to a runoff point and you happen to be swimming and you open your eyes by it, I think it could still affect you.
Well, yeah.
If you're close to a direct runoff, which they're all over the place.
If that's pollution, if you're swimming in Portland, you're weird anyway. But I have no idea what tear gas is made of. I assume it's the same as like just regular fucking pepper spray.
I'm assuming, yeah, because that's all tear gas is the same. Tear gas and pepper spray are the exact same thing. It's just a matter of the strength, isn't it?
I have no idea. It's bromacetone, or xylyl bromide. Causes crying, sneezing. Is it a pollutant?
I don't know. But the funny thing is they're saying that enough to print a pathetic article about it, but they're literally saying that the person leading this investigation be like, no, this is a huge issue. And they said, is there any evidence of tear gas residue reaching the river? And they said, no.
Yeah, no is fantastic. I love it. No.
No, there's no evidence. There's no evidence whatsoever yet of any tear gas residue reaching the river. But it's also hard to say because there's so much unknown about the materials and so much unknown about the quantities. There's nothing to say it's unknown about the materials because it takes nothing to find out what is in it.
Yeah, I just Googled it. 12 seconds.
Really? See? It took you 12 seconds. So don't tell me you can't tell me what's in tear gas, you fucking liar.
Bromacetone. I just did that. I'm going to do that when Eric and Gord are Prime Minister, though. I'm totally going to do that. They'll be like, Mr. Prime Minister, is it true that blah, blah, blah? I'm just going, no.
No.
That's it. Just one word answer.
Yeah. And the best thing is, by the way, for the head of this article, there's a picture of a guy standing there. There's gas all over the place, and this guy is standing there holding an umbrella.
That will help. That is a good idea, Portland. You are on to something.
This is why I can't wait for America to burn.
They're my emotional support land. Oh, Portland. What has happened to Portland when, like, I remember when Trump got elected and people in Portland were crying. And
yep.
Grown men on the street crying. Good. Oh, the country's being ruined. Those of you who haven't moved to Canada, you just burning your fucking city down. I don't understand. Like, I thought you were like sensitive, caring people.
And you are allowing your city to burn to the ground. If you're not directly part of it and you're not complaining and you're not on board with them stopping it, every complaint you had about Trump, every complaint you had about him ruining your country, you are directly to blame.
You're helping.
You're doing nothing. You're helping.
He's definitely ruining your country. You weren't wrong, and yeah, he did exactly what you said he would do. Don't mistake what Gord's trying to say. Yeah, he totally fucked your country.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but you're not helping.
You're doing it faster. It's taken him 4 years to help you destroy your country. You've done it in weeks.
And it's not Wendy's.
Just
fault.
saying.
Stop burning down Wendy's.
Yeah, fuck. I love Wendy's. Stop doing that to them. Doesn't deserve it. Dave was a good guy.
Wendy's are acceptable. Dave was probably a giant piece of shit.
I kind of hope he was.
I don't know. My brother met him. I never got to. I should ask him. I think my brother said he was nice. But of course he's nice. If he's meeting employees, he's got to look nice. I'm sure fucking Richard Walton. Well, people say Richard Walton was the nicest man ever in the world. His granddaughter is a fucking psycho.
Yeah, which, again, not very surprising.
$200 billion.
Yeah.
Waltons of Walmart fame, if you guys aren't keeping up, the Walton family owns Walmart. Only about 40% of it now, but...
Nonetheless.
That's enough to make $200 billion a year. How does that make you feel, poor people? Just wondering, poor Americans who don't have... Anyway.
I actually heard somebody come to the defense of Walmart saying, Walmart pays high wages for people. No, they don't.
They pay better
Who
than
told
average.
you that?
They pay better than minimum wage, that's for sure.
Yeah, but they don't pay high wages. Don't ever say Walmart and high wages without saying they don't pay.
Well, compared to other retailers of their stature, they absolutely do. They pay much, much better. Much better than Bed Bath, I'll give you that. I don't want to get into that conversation. But yeah, Walmart pays okay for, that type of a job. That's kind of a yes. But they're still fucking evil. So
yeah, exactly.
Let's move on.
So yeah, so over in keeping with the U.S., the House Democrats on Wednesday threatened to subpoena top officials at the U.S. Census Bureau after they refused to give interviews to an oversight committee over why the 2020 head count of every U.S. resident was cut short by a month and will stop at the end of September.
Of COVID?
They're literally just of how many people are in are in your state.
Yeah, but the question is, why was it cut short? COVID. That's the answer. Move on.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't understand how anybody in position again, all you have to do is say COVID. Why would you not if you're part of the Census Bureau, you shouldn't be allowed to refuse to answer a question about what you're doing. You shouldn't be allowed. You are there. Your job is to be honest about how many people are in a state or whatever else. You are responsible for that. You don't get the option to just, I'm not going to tell you why I came up with my numbers. You don't get that option.
Oh, shit.
You just don't.
Oh, you're back. America, we don't do that quite as much in Canada, but in America, their freedom of speech is, they don't care about the freedom of speech as much as the freedom to not fucking say something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I'm just not giving you that information. What? Isn't that your job? No. Okay.
Just no. All right.
Whatever. But yeah, if the question for the next at least until November, if a question starts with why, the answer is COVID. Just say COVID and walk away.
Yeah, that's
Anything that begins with why is COVID. You just say COVID or black people.
I'm just waiting till Trudeau finally officially learns that. Because then every time when he speaks, he won't have to play around with his stupid words and not answer. He can literally just say COVID and just next question.
Why not?
How come the deficit is COVID? Where do you think we're going to go with NAFTA? COVID.
The debates are going to be hilarious.
Just COVID. COVID.
Mr. President,
COVID.
what would you do if you COVID?
How are you going to fight the pedophilia ring that's going
COVID.
rampant across our COVID?
COVID. Just come out on stage
COVID.
and just drag that word out for a minute and 20 seconds and then walk away. That's what I would do in the next election, in the debate. Just walk out and go, a minute and 20 seconds. Vid. And walk away.
That's not bad at all.
and then end with Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Fist in the air, fist
COVID.
pump. You're out.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter, fist pump. O'Doyle rules. Politicians are worthless. Anyway, I forget what you were talking about. Why the head count and something?
Yeah, just that they're right now refusing to answer why they've changed. They've cut the amount of time that people have to, or for the states to be able to come up with their numbers. They've cut that by a month, and I just don't understand why does it.
Because for voter registration.
Well, I just don't understand how, why a month would make a difference. You just move your plan back a month, just start a month early, and you're fine.
Voter registration. if you count a certain number of people, then that number of people is allowed to vote in your state.
No, I get that. I just don't understand why anybody even cares about if it's being moved back. Okay, you're supposed to have your thing in here by October. Now you have to have it in by September. Okay, well, instead of us starting in March, we'll start in April.
It's hard
May.
to count
February.
a lot of people.
Just start a month early.
Remember, counting is hard.
Apparently. Adding 1 + 1 + 1 is difficult.
So that's a thing. It's America.
Moving over to Miami.
Why is it your Miami?
It's because it's mine. It's my, I should say. There's a very interesting thing that's going on. The U.S. has the fuck is he? He's a warlord from Colombia. He just completed a 12-year cocaine trafficking sentence in March.
Well done.
And Colombia wants to send him, or Colombia wants to have him sent back to Colombia, where the courts have judged him responsible for more than 1,500 acts of murder or forced disappearance.
And all you got him on was cocaine trafficking?
That's all the U.S. got him on. But meanwhile, the
bad.
U.S. has an order that they're going to send him to Italy.
To get COVID?
And just to get, so he can get COVID there. I'm just, what? What? They said, well, if he returns to Cuba, he'll get killed. He's responsible for killing. He's a drug cartel warlord. I don't care if he fucking thinks he's gonna get killed. He deserves. Fuck him. Come on. Come on. Seriously. Really? Really? This is really. You're not gonna send him back so he can face crime, but you're gonna let him run free in another country because he created a massive, decades-long conflict.
Yeah, you don't want to look like the country that sent him to Colombia to die, though. You can't. You got to make it look like you gave a shit before you send him to the country to die.
Why?
Because the people will judge you on that. Oh, you just sent him
Who?
there to die. People, the world,
Who?
the world, everyone in the fucking world.
Who's going to come to his defense?
Everybody.
Because
no
nobody
one's
would.
coming. Everyone will come to his defense and say America just tried to kill this guy. Everyone will do that to Americans. You and I will do that to Americans. Everyone will.
No.
Yes.
No.
We did it with fucking Osama.
Osama bin Laden. You know, when they killed him,
yes.
Nobody cared.
Everybody cared. They ate a lot of shit for that. People do that. That's what people do. You just killed him. People are shitty that way. They just want to be shitty. And absolutely,
the U.S. went into another country and killed him. This is handing him over to another government for another form of extradition, so they could be.
And it will look like, because they will kill him. They're absolutely right about that. And it will look like that's why America sent him there. And when you got an election coming up in 2 months, you can't do that shit.
It depends on what your stance is going to be.
Unless your stance is, we want him to get killed, so we sent him to Colombia. If you take that stance, then that's cool. But you will lose a lot of votes. And that's all that matters right now is votes.
Votes, yeah. Trump wouldn't lose any more votes because his people, they won't not vote for him for any reason, apparently.
Oh, I think that's flipping. That is a changing. This election's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun one. I'm looking very much forward to it.
Oh man, it's going to be like watching it's just going to be like watching a movie that just doesn't have an ending. It's just not going to stop.
It's going to be interesting what happens in America after January. You're right. It's definitely not going to stop. It's going to take a weird turn, though, I think. Like, weirder.
Yeah. Oh, man. All I know is that if Biden truly wants to win, just don't have any children on stage with him. That's the only thing I'll say. Just
I know you're on the pedophile bandwagon with him. I don't see it. I'm
not saying pedophile. I'm just saying he touches them a little too much.
Maybe. I will not accept those photographs until they're verified. But I know you're on that, and that's cool. I don't think
it's not cool.
He's going to want to surprise. He's going to want to surround himself with kids and not touch them.
But he clearly can't.
You don't know that. You don't know that unless you've been to one of his rallies and seen him do it.
You don't know that either, so you can't defend it.
I'm not defending him. I'm saying I don't know. I'm saying I do not know that to be a fact. And photographic evidence is no longer evidence.
Well, regardless,
I will
think it would be a smart idea.
I am going to read
giving people evidence.
I am going to read out a name of a podcast, and then I'm going to spend the rest of this episode making a picture of you touching kids. It's The Photog Session is a bi-weekly podcast bringing you the latest in everything photography, news, camera comparisons, and even how-tos to help you become a better photographer mentally and physically. I'm assuming that's on Apple. Or wherever you're
just assuming this.
They didn't say where they're on, so check Apple first. And in case you didn't hear last episode, I'm not saying podcasts anymore. It's a podcast. It's on Apple. I assume you know to go to Apple Podcasts. I'm not fucking saying Apple Podcasts anymore. All right, moving on to America was getting weird. That's what we were talking. America's gonna get weirder,
and it's not stopping. There's a new her name is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She has just won a seat as part of what the fuck is she part of the US House? Winning it over the US House seat. And this is a big deal because she is a huge supporter of QAnon.
Oh, good. Is she a Democrat or a liberal? Or a Republican, I mean.
She is... she's a Republican.
Okay.
And a whole bunch of other Republicans have all withdrew endorsements and declared her unfit for Congress because of this. But
good on them. They are correct.
But she still won the seat.
More so than Trump. So.
Well, no, exactly. He's like the leader of it.
I don't think you can declare anyone unfit after you voted for Trump. After that, like
that's it. You have the most unfit person ever right there.
The most unfit for anything human being and made him the leader of your country. You got nothing to stand on after that. But cool, whatever.
Yeah,
One of the big QAnon supporters are fucking weirdos too. Don't get me wrong.
Well, one of the big things that got her support was the fact that she openly embraced QAnon for their belief that President Trump was waging a secret campaign against enemies in the deep state and a child sex trafficking ring run by satanic pedophiles and cannibals.
Yeah, he's apparently doing that.
Yeah. He has taken down more people in American government have been charged for sex crimes than any other time in American history.
See, that's groovy, but I want convictions, and I want people that matter to get convicted. It's all these low-level guys get convicted, and the high-level ones that don't get killed in jail, air quotes, seem to be skating on this stuff. So I want real evidence. I don't care you got charges against the whole house. If those charges get dropped next year, then they're fucking meaningless.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I want to see convictions. I want to see important people get convicted.
There have been a tremendous amount of convictions. You have a lot of jail sentences. You have a lot of there have been a lot that have already gone through. People have been charged.
Not the right
people.
But you're right.
But like you said, not the right people. But,
like all the big names that kind of sort of get implicated in this look like they're laughing at us right now.
Yeah.
Not us,
Clinton,
but
one of the biggest ones, but yeah.
Trump, that's something apparently he's doing. I don't know that he's doing it. I don't know the numbers before Trump. I don't know what he's active in them. Like it looks like he's doing something good, but I've learned throughout this presidency that it really doesn't matter what it looks like. It's something's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
So I hope.
Well, I stated up the numbers. I remember like last week when I first set this up, or 2 weeks ago. I mentioned I had the numbers from out of the 8 years out of Obama, Trump was only sitting at a few hundred less in convictions for child traffic or for sex or for human trafficking and sex crimes.
That may have absolutely nothing to do with Trump, though. That's what I'm sure. Like, I don't know where those numbers are coming from or what his involvement is.
No, it was basically just numbers of like, here's how many people were convicted of these crimes during this administration. Here's how many were convicted during this administration. And Trump, after Obama for 8 years, Trump's only been in there for just under 4. And he's already only sitting a few hundred less than Obama after full 8 years. Trump's
but is that because that have anything
Trump?
To do with Trump, or those convictions that Obama started and didn't finish? Is this something that has nothing to do with the president, and it's just a convenient number that they can throw around and say they're in charge of? I don't know.
The only thing I can say is these were all people who have been convicted or been charged since Trump was in power.
Yeah, but who started that investigation? That could have been investigated for 20 years before Trump came in.
Yeah, that's very true. I don't know. So there's much more to find out, but
it might not be Trump's numbers. Is all I'm saying. Like, he can use them as his number. That's like when I say World Happiness Day was declared 2 days after this show started.
Yeah,
that's just that's a fact. That is a true thing.
It is a fact. That is an absolute fact.
I started this show. The UN declared it World Happiness Day. That's what happened on those 2 days.
Yeah.
I am not stating a lie. I am not stating anything incorrect there. That is just the facts as I know them. World Happiness Day started 2 days after this show. And you take that information and do with it what you want.
Yep.
And that's how they do it too, right? Especially during an election. That shit starts getting weird.
Yeah. Last thing to talk about with the U.S. because I do want to move away from America because fuck you guys.
We got to move away from a lot of stuff. It's already well over the hour
true.
mark.
Yeah.
And I got
I'll very
pictures of
quickly
you
go
to
through a
work
couple
on.
ones here. Okay. Officials in a little town in Georgia have voted to remove a rare 18th century pavilion where slaves were once sold. So they've decided that they are going to take it down. The big question just becomes, it's like a open air gazebo like structure dating back to the late 1790s. They said they're going to take it down, but they can't say when or how long it will take because it is fairly large and they just don't know how they're going to pull it off yet. So there's America removing their history as fast as they humanly can.
You're fucking Georgia. Just let Russia finish invading, and that'll come right the fuck down. That's easy. That's how you get that shit torn down. Just open up that border and let Putin finish you off.
Not the country of Jordan, the state, the U.S. state of Georgia.
Oh, I thought you meant the country of Georgia.
No. That's what I said. Last thing about America.
Yeah, last thing about America is they do a lot of business with Georgia.
Oh, well,
I don't. Well, then, fuck. Who gives a fuck?
Right. I just thought just another example of America erasing its history because then it doesn't exist.
You shouldn't have a pavilion anyway, Georgia. Where's a pavilion? Oh, there's the pavilion. Fucking Americans are weird. Good. Take them all down. Every statue I want. By the time I'm prime minister in 2023 with Gord, I want all statues in Canada removed.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Go after fucking Rushmore. That'll be a thing. When they're like, we got to take down Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
The Lincoln Memorial. Fuck all that.
They're not talking. They're not talking about taking down Rushmore, but they are talking about changing the heads. That has been thrown out there.
Well, that's probably been thrown out there since the day that thing was finished.
Yeah. Considering the one guy on there just makes no sense. So
well, none of them makes sense. They're all a bunch of fucking pedophile slave owners.
America should embrace their past. Just saying.
Why was that a good idea? Yeah, either run with it or just, I don't know, whatever. I'm sick of the conversation. You want to wipe it out? Wipe it out. Good. It never happened. Great. Kids don't read anyway. They won't know.
No, it doesn't matter anyways. India, there is huge protesting going on right now in Bengaluru. We'll go with that. Sure. 3 people have died so far, and a bunch more injured. And this is all because
in India.
No, but
go to a jeans factory for lunch.
There was a Facebook post that showed a provocative picture of Prophet Muhammad.
I would fucking go nuts. What is with these Muhammad cartoons? Now, son of a bitch. First of all, who are you in the world that's making a goddamn Muhammad comic still? Why is there always some prick making a fucking Muhammad comic? You know what's going to happen. It happens every fucking time. Stop making them, you idiots. What the fuck? Nothing good has ever come from a Muhammad cartoon. Why do you not learn this lesson?
It was in India, Eric.
You should be caned.
This is how stupid.
No, but
this is just how stupid it is.
Ocean, and the crab from The Little Mermaid finds it. Someone will riot and die because of it every fucking time.
The 3 people who died were the 3 people who were they. Because what they did was people went after a public representative, one of the government officials. They went after him because it was his nephew or cousin that actually put the post out there. So they burned down this guy's house and burned his cars. Then they turned their aggression over onto the police. And as soon as they broke into the police station, the police shot and killed 3 guys because they just couldn't get them to stop. So they shot and killed 3 of them.
All you protesters that are putting in all this effort going around the world protesting shit and like burning down cities and shit, you don't have to put in all that work. Just make a cartoon of Muhammad and say, that guy did it.
That's it.
And people will fucking go ballistic and wipe them off the map. Why don't you just, instead of Me Too, be like you're like, oh, he touched Rose McGowan.
too.
People are like, who gives a fuck if he touched Rose McGowan? I don't even care. She fucking ruined Charmed. You're like, but he also drew Mohammed. Boom. You never see that guy again.
That's it. Problem. That's it.
Don't draw Mohammed, you fucking idiots.
Yep.
You probably get some emotion like this if you listen to Primal Feelings with Dan and Cam on Spotify.
Well done.
Not bad, eh? Stop drawing Mohammed. You fucks.
Yeah.
My God. You're doing it for a reaction. That's the only, in this day and age, if you're drawing a cartoon of Mohammed, you know exactly what the fuck you're doing. It should be a crime.
I was just about to say that. I think the guy who released it and the newspaper that allowed it to be released.
Yeah.
It was on Facebook.
Even
Facebook
worse.
should be held responsible for this too, since they're the truth police right now. So
Right, Fuckerberg, what are you doing?
Right? Why are you allowing that to be on your site?
You pulled down my fucking COVID posts, but you put up a Mohammed cartoon?
Yeah,
What is
exactly.
the matter with you? Not that Zuckerberg has anything to do with it, but I'm blaming him anyway.
Blame him anyways.
I wonder how many decisions he's even involved in, ever.
Oh, none. Absolutely none. He doesn't care. He probably doesn't even have his own Facebook account. He doesn't care.
Oh,
He's
that's
like, I'm
funny. I
not
bet
giving
he
away my
doesn't.
information. He's like, I'm not giving away my
Yes.
information.
I did not click approve on that shit. No way. Have you read that fucking thing?
I'm not giving away my information. Forget it.
That would be fucking hilarious. He's like, do you have a Facebook page? Hell no. Do you read the terms and conditions? I know. I wrote them.
I wrote them. I'm not fucking doing it. The city that this happened is known as India's Silicon Valley. This is a 12 million population city.
Every city in India
is 12 million. Yeah, but this is a very high end part of it. Like I said, this is very rich. This is their Silicon Valley style. This is a lot of software, computer stuff all comes out of this area.
Keeping in mind, though, even those guys, they get about $8 a day, which is very rich for them.
No, exactly. So a Congress politician, it was his nephew that although no, they haven't the only name they have is they have the guy's first name. They haven't released anything else, but apparently everybody knows who this guy is that did it. Well, yeah,
they're not going to release it, dude. That's like they might as well send him to Colombia.
Yeah,
with the other dude.
But there were some really good stuff to come out of this one. There was a large group of Muslims that created a human chain to guard the temple during the violence, because they didn't want people to turn their violence towards the temple. So some, people standing up saying, "Okay, look, I know it was fucked up. It's against our religion. You shouldn't do that, but
please
stop
don't
burning
burn
shit
our
down.
temple. Go Americans.
Go burn somewhere else. Yeah, go burn something else, just not this."
Yeah, you know what, Muslims, until you quit bombing our shit, it's cool that you, defended your temple, but maybe stop suicide bombing other people. And then I'll get on board with we should protect their temples more. But good effort. It's a good start, I guess. Whatever. Stop with the fucking...
Now.
Why do you have to get so fucking nuts over a cartoon, Muslims? Now it's your turn, all right? The guys drawing them, they're pieces of shit. They know exactly what they're doing, but what the fuck is your problem? You know how many goddamn Jesus memes are out there?
Yeah.
And horrible ones. Terrible, stupid shit about our God. Well, not our God, but the Western God.
Somebody's God.
The Christian God. That's what I'm looking for.
There you go.
There's all kinds of stupid shit. There's whole movie that George Burns played. Look at...
Oh, God, you devil.
Look at the gods must be crazy. Offensive shit. There's a lot of shit against the gods that's offensive as fuck. Get the fuck over it. It's a book. Even your Quran is just a fucking book. It's nothing to get, they drew a cartoon, and so what? What? Is he strike you down now? What? What happened? What does Muhammad do if there's a cartoon about him? Why do you have to go nuts and fucking kill people over it?
Now, keep in mind, there is nothing in the Quran that states that is a bad thing. They actually, for centuries, they always had pictures of him up.
There's fucking.
It wasn't a big deal. It was created much later on that they said no, you shouldn't have a picture of him because that takes away from his status as a messenger of God. Makes him a person.
The Quran makes about as much sense as fucking Mormonism, because it's one of those things where it's like, well, let us read the Quran and interpret it. And they're like, no, you got to be a scholar of the Quran to read the Quran and interpret it. No, you're just making shit up. Just like fucking what's his nuts in the Mormons. He went to jail twice for fraud.
John Smith?
Whatever. Was it actually
Is that his name?
I
think it was John Smith.
It was something Smith, but anyway.
Yeah.
He's like, no, they have to be translated through this guy over here. He's the only one that could read them. Well, yeah, then there's all fucking lies. And they use the Quran. There's not like so much shit they say. It has nothing to do with the Quran.
Yep.
They just make shit up. And people do that with every religion, though. We did it with Christianity. Not we, but the proverbial we did it with Christianity. Like, there's so much shit that's not in the Bible or is so vague and weird. You're like, what? That has nothing to do with homosexuality. That's just weird and stupid.
Yeah. It's very true.
Like,
no lying about it.
It'd be something like, oh, the pig's shadow crossed the desert during the equinox or whatever. And you're like, that means you can't lay with gay people. What? How does that mean?
That doesn't even make sense.
I don't know how you square that circle, but it makes no sense. Like, nothing from religion ever makes sense, because it's always something like that. And the Lord said unto him, I doth give you this burning boot. And that meant women can't make as much as men in the workplace. Like, what? I don't think that's what that means. You shut up and die, devil.
You devil. Oh, man. Okay, let me get through these last stories relatively quickly here.
Probably not.
Speaking of India, this is actually, I consider this to be huge. There's a company in India called Zomato. They are a food delivery company. They're a very high-profile organization. They're really big around there. Well, they have sparked a huge debate because they have instituted a policy where its female employees are allowed to have a paid period leave. If they're on their period and they can't if they can't probably do the job because they're on their period, they can take off time up to 10 days per year as part of an effort to combat what it says is a stigma against that.
But rape is still legal. You fucking weird continent. Yeah, well, we got to be nice to them if they're on their period. Why? Well, so we can fucking rape them after work. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Again, it's a weird choice to make in the sense, like, I mean, it's great. I think we as men have no idea what goes on physically when a woman is menstruating.
I don't think we understand anything about it, to be honest.
No, it's like any guy
you can't explain it to us. No. We tune out halfway through that conversation anyway because we're pricks. But
it's just the same as childbirth. No guy, like, you can't say a guy kicking in the balls is just as equal to a woman giving birth. Oh, give me a fucking break. No, it's not.
No, not even
like that's just dumb. Your sack isn't getting ripped open by a human coming out of it. No, it's not. Like, give me a break.
If you got kicked in the balls every day repeatedly for 9 months, and then one of your balls burst out of your dick hole and grew up to be a prick for 18 years, you had to look after it, and it was just nasty to you, and took all your money and turned out to be a shitty kid, then it would be the same.
Yeah, okay. I'll agree with that. Sure. So
Or if you got kicked in the balls and then you got pregnant and you had to decide whether you were going to abort one of your balls, then it would be the same.
Even then, it still wouldn't be the same.
Not even close, really. So the menstruating thing, we don't know. No guy knows. Even all you man bun wearing fucking faggots, you don't know.
You don't know.
And I don't mean that in a gay way. You know that show.
If you listen to the show, you should. That just goes without explaining.
I'm trying to get away from using that word, but I can't because I just mean it. They're a bunch of fucking faggots, and everyone going, you don't understand women. You just smell like one. You.
You don't understand women. You just smell like one. That's amazing. Well done. So there's that.
Sorry. Yeah. Now, is it good? Are you on board with this?
Yes, I absolutely am. I think it's a great thing to be able to get that because, again, I've been with multiple women. I've watched some of them suffer through some of these brutally painful experiences that they have to go through this, where they can't physically even move. Like they even just stand up and walk around causes a tremendous amount.
Yeah, you're right.
I'd say absolutely go for it. If I can take a sick day because I got a sniffles, then why the fuck can't she take a day off because her whole body is revolting against her? I absolutely go for it. So I fully support it. I think it's a great thing. You
know why God gave women yeast infections? So they know what it's like to live with an annoying cunt.
I'm not laughing at that.
I'm editing that right the fuck out.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool. I guess moderate. I don't know. Whatever. Hey, a few less days of them at work bitching's fine by me.
Now,
all they do is bitch about the period anyway. That's all they talk about.
That's it.
Yeah, my period. Why don't you fucking go home then? Well, none of that is true.
No, not at all.
I'm not even justifying that. I just cut that shit out when we're done
talking. Biggest news to hit the planet right now. This is the biggest news. I call absolute bullshit, but this is the biggest news.
Nothing is ever going to hit the planet. Sorry.
Well, Russia is officially said that they will be rolling out a coronavirus vaccine within 2 weeks.
Within 2 weeks? Wow, they've really upped their game. It went from December to October to 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And Vladimir Putin has stated that he gave his daughter the vaccine. And she is fine.
Does he mean he administered it to her, or he just gave her some? Like, here's some vaccine. Do with it what you will.
She has it in her system. That's as far as that's gonna go.
Along with way too much of his sperm, I'm sure.
Yeah, no denying that. So there's that. And this just goes to show, of all the places in the world to help produce this vaccine, a company in Brazil is going to be agreed to produce the vaccine.
And they're getting Leonardo DiCaprio to fund it.
I'm just... I just find that funny considering...
It's just going to be made from water from the firemen cleaning up the fires that they burned down their own fucking country to get Leonardo DiCaprio's money. Why are you dealing with Brazil, Russia? Well, because you're Russia. Fuck, that makes perfect sense that it's coming from Brazil. I'm sorry, I take that back. Of course it is.
Because he doesn't want anybody else to get it. And Brazil is the only one that's turned around and said, it doesn't exist. It's fine.
Someone needs to go and burn down Leonardo DiCaprio's house.
Fine with that.
This is nothing. Yeah, know what? I'm sticking with it. Fuck you, Leo.
So just huge news. And I love, and I mean this, I absolutely love the fact that the second this was announced, fuck it, I'm just going to say it as it is. My mother, of all people, she's like, did you hear? There's hope now because Russia came out with a vaccine for it. And I looked at her and said, Mom, what? I said, no, they didn't. I just look at her. I go, what are you thinking? And she's like, well, they announced it. Yeah. Are they administering it around the world? Well, no. I said, have they done any form of testing? She's like, well, that's not really known. That's because they don't have a vaccine.
Has Russia ever told the truth about anything? That's probably not even their real name.
Never even thought about that. Russia's really known as, I don't know, Rockton.
It's probably not even their real name. They've never told the truth about anything ever. When they're really poor, they tell us they're rich. When they're really rich, they tell us they're poor and can't help. When they're They don't ever invent any. Look at Chernobyl. That's what they invented. They built it on a shitty fucking 50s scrap metal and burned the fucking place down in 30 years. They just lie. They're a lying nation. And I like Russian people. I've never met a Russian guy I didn't like. But they all lie all the time, every one of them. About
Keep in
everything.
mind, just to give an idea, this is the same country where Andrei Chikalato, Chikalato, I don't know how to pronounce his fucking name. The Russian serial killer, Russia's first serial killer, roamed free from 1978 to 1990 and did every horrible act you can do to another human being. He did all of them.
Yeah, but so did the KGB. So did in Russia, that's just like a drinking game. It's called do the worst shit possible to each other.
They knew this was going on. They knew it was happening. They knew there was a serial killer. They knew who he was targeting. They knew everything, but said nothing to the public. And just announced to the world, we don't have serial killers.
Yeah, the Vancouver police did the same thing for 10 years. That's not exclusive to Russians.
No, but they started it.
Vancouver police had him in custody, bleeding from the bullet from the victim that shot him and got away. And they said no.
No, not him.
Not Willie.
Well, he's a good guy. It's not him.
Russia could learn a thing or two about lying from the fucking VPD. Sorry, Gord's mom. Hi, Gord's mom. I don't talk to you much anymore on the show. Never have, really. But I would just say hi. Hi. Your boy's pretty cool. I like him.
Trust me when I say she does not listen to the show.
Now, I got to break it to you, Gord's mom. Russia's... Don't bust out the champagne just yet.
Yeah.
Probably Russia doesn't have a vaccine, is what I'm saying. And if they do, they're not sharing it. And it'll be
It's going to kill more people than COVID ever did.
It's probably just tear gas runoff from Portland in a bottle, I'm assuming.
And the tears of children.
It's children's tears mixed with Portland tear gas. And run through Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina. I don't know. It would be awesome if I'm wrong. I certainly would love to be wrong about this one. And it turns out they do have one and it works great and we're all fine and we get back to normal. I don't get that vibe from Russia ever. No,
not at all.
They killed Apollo Creed, for fuck's sakes. Like, what more do you need?
Oh, exactly. That pretty much says everything there. Yeah. So the last thing
for those of you who are confused, that was a movie. That's not. It doesn't really matter. Russians are liars. That's what I'm saying. Not the people of Russia. Most of them I don't know. No. I can't say. It's the leaders of Russia, the people running Russia. Yeah. The Putin and his army of I don't know.
Putinites.
Putinites. Putineers?
Putineers. It's so funny.
I don't know what you.
Putineers. Fuck it. We're using Putineers.
The junior Putins of America or whatever. I don't know. They're liars. They're the people lying, not the Russian people. When I say Russians are lying, I mean the leaders. When I say Chinese are deceitful, evil people, I mean the leaders. I don't mean Chinese. Like most Chinese people I've met are delightful, but the people running that country are communist, fucking terrorist weirdos.
Yes.
So don't say I don't mean I generalize when I speak, because when I don't, this 2-hour show would be my intro.
And besides, if anybody were to take that when we say Russia lies, if anybody takes that to meaning the people, you are a problem.
And
understand
you're probably lying.
Exactly. You didn't do the math.
If you disagree with me, you're probably lying.
It's the way it is with all of it. So the last thing I have is just a very weird little story. Going over to Paraguay, there is this lagoon called the yes.
I don't get it. Never mind. Never mind. I was just wondering, like, if there was ever like one Guay, but because there's not two Guays there, but they still call it a Paraguay. I don't get it.
Yeah, I never thought to ask that question because I'm just not that retarded, I guess. There's a city called Limpio. Limpio. Fuck it, it's Limpio. And there's this lagoon called the Cerro Lagoon.
I thought that was the Limpio Lagoon. You got me all confused.
No, it's the Cerro Lagoon located near the city of Limpio.
I had that backwards.
It's about 10 miles from the capital of Paraguay, and I'm not even going to attempt to fuck up that name because nope, not going to do it. It's got an accent in it. Not going to happen. So here's the interesting thing about this. First of all, a few years ago, they split this lagoon in two. A few months ago,
they called it the Para Lagoon.
No,
that's why
they didn't. It's still known as the Cerro Lagoon. They just split it in two.
Okay.
So they could create an embankment to. It was built to connect some local factories. Okay, so basically split this lagoon in two. 3 months after they split this lagoon, the one side of the lagoon is perfectly fine, clear water, everything's fresh, everything's good. On the other side, all of the fish died. And as well as any bird that landed in it, all the birds died.
Yeah, that's where Putin stores his COVID vaccine, by the way.
Yeah, well, and it did turn a reddish color. And people are just like, well, this is really weird. And then all of a sudden, the red has now evolved into a bright purple. All right, so now this water is this very unusual bright purple color. And they're like, well, this is just fucking weird. Why is this purple? Well, they found out that it's because there's a tannery that is basically just pumping their fucking leftover untreated water and stuff right into this lagoon. And the chemicals in it have turned it from red now to purple.
That's not interesting at all. That's just what other countries do.
What's interesting is the color. Because this is the first time they've ever seen water turn purple from a chemical reaction. They've seen pink, they've seen yellow, they've seen red, but they've never seen purple. This is the first time they've seen that.
That's what happens when you make cartoons of Mohammed. That's the effect of that.
And that's what happens.
Fucking whiners in Portland. You're worried about the tear gas running in. Oh, my ears might get irritated if I go swimming. Look what these fuckers have to deal with. Their water's turned fucking toxic purple. I thought it was something interesting, and it's not. It's just another prick going to a small country and polluting the fuck out of it.
Yep.
Because that's what we do to other countries. But you're worried about I might get the sniffles if I swim too close to this tear gas runoff. These guys everything's dead in their purple weird lagoon.
Then to keep that on, to give an idea about some of the shit that's gone on around the world when it comes to this water. In 2016, in Manila, in the Philippines, their Pasag River became so loaded with pollutants that local artists were using the pigments to make paintings because it was such an unusual color. The artists are hilarious.
And they were swimming in it and drinking it, so that's weird.
Probably, yeah. They said that. They said although all the pigments were decontaminated, the smell of the sludge was still present, which made it a real challenge for artists.
Hey, do you want to come to my showing at the gallery? Fuck no. Not until masks are mandatory. It smells like toxic shit.
There's the Yellow River in China, which got its name from the nutritious sediments. Well, that's what it's called. It's named that because it was yellow. The water was actually yellow but it ended up turning an off-white cloudy soup river for a while because the water became that because the stones, basically the sediments in it became so bad that it started turning everything white.
That is where every Japanese restaurant gets miso soup from.
That's right. I love miso soup.
It tastes like what you just described, in my opinion.
Oh, I love it so much. It's fantastic.
hate it.
It's the only time I will ever have anything that has soy in it, and it is just spectacular.
I cannot stand miso soup. I'm the only one, apparently. Miso soup is the fireworks of soups, because I'm the only one in the planet who doesn't like it.
No, well, I think it's fantastic.
Everybody disagrees with me. Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah.
Nobody agrees with me on this. And you know what? I'm sticking to it. It's fucking gross, and you guys are all weirdos. Is the whole world right and I'm wrong? No. It's the other way around.
My ex-girlfriend, she hated miso soup.
She's a smart
Thought
lady.
it was horrible. No. In India, there's a crater lake in India that turned pink over a matter of days. In June of this year, it just happened, and it was only because there was a specific type of bacteria that began to flourish, and it just dyed all the water a very bright pink color. So it's a bunch of random things, but yeah, purple's a new one. And way to go to the tannery that has just destroyed countless fish and birds and fucking up people's lives. Way to go. So there you go. There's my news.
I would like to see a world where we stopped destroying little countries with pollutants. That would be nice. It's never
that would be
gonna
nice.
happen. It's not going to happen in my lifetime, but
No.
it's just funny how we pretend we're a world that gives a shit about things, but really we're just destroying things that we can't see in our face every day. And it's disgusting. It's all just a bunch of lies. Recycling is a lie. That's not happening. Not that it's not happening completely. Just it's not happening in the level you think it is. They're just dumping shit on beaches in Thailand and places like Paraguay, and we don't see it, and we feel like we're doing good for each other. No, we're all just liars.
Complete and total.
I'm just looking at an article where a landlord removed the windows and doors on a home because it's a mom won't leave, but she hasn't paid rent because of COVID. And I was thinking, why won't someone do that for me?
Right?
Why won't they just let me in my house? Anyway, I'm not gonna get into it. Stop. Yeah. Let's just stop lying and actually, like, we're not gonna go turn things around in these countries. But if we could just not continue it, that would be a very good thing for us. That's what I'm trying to say. We're never gonna fix it. That's just stupid. I'm not even gonna pretend. But if we could stop doing it, would be really neat. If we'd stop repeating all the same fucking mistakes all the goddamn time. And then acting like we're surprised when bad shit happens to us for it. That'd be really nice. That would make a better world.
How about this? Anybody who is going to start up a company, is running a company or a major conglomerate, whichever it is, if your company has any form of runoff, wastewater, leftover chemicals, whatever it might be, if you're going to dump it into a waterway to get rid of it, just ask yourself one question first. Would I swim in that water knowing this is being pumped in there? If your answer is no, then don't do it. Just simple.
That's never happening. That's a nice way to think of it, but that's not happening.
Yeah.
It is almost 8 o'clock in the morning in Gord's part of the world.
It's getting close.
We got to let this poor guy go. I want to say goodbye to Wordsmithing, hosted by two indie authors who have no idea what they're doing, so they share their experience navigating the floodwaters of self-publishing and how you can avoid the same mistakes. And they are on Spotify, and I haven't listened to that one yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. I don't even know what to say to you. That last story kind of upset me. God damn it. Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh yeah, and you were talking about Manila and the Philippines, and I was thinking of the word. Manillapines jumped in my head, and that's a funny word. And I'm going to leave on that note. That's a good note to leave on. Manillapines is a funny word. Till next time. Take care of each other.
America, if you could burn a little quicker so we have to stop talking about you, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
That would be nice.
That's it.
And where is my outro?
This is Eric and Gord. Eric and
That is not, but that sounded cool. What the fuck's going on here? This is a badly produced. This one needs to be edited.
Yes, it does.
Where the hell's my goddamn... Well, it doesn't matter now. I swear to God, I will burn this fucking podcast.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know this. There's a girl from North Carolina that stuck a message in a bottle.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged to obtain professional legal and medical services.
Quite the heartwarming tale.
Yeah.
I'm going to put
I know it didn't belong on. I know it didn't belong on the show, so I didn't bother.
I one time put a message in a bottle. I did that. No, it was before that shit movie too.
Oh, really?
I put a message in a bottle, and like 4 hours later, it just washed up on the beach where I put it. That was awesome.